Wake up in the morning to drink. Wake up at night and drink and go back to sleep. It just took over to where drinking become the norm. Well, I pretty much started drinking probably around the age of 15, 16. Went through high school, went to all the parties, played football. Uh, Went into the Marine Corps, which pretty much you're known for drinking. After a little while, I knew there was a problem, but admitting it was a hard thing to do. And I guess after I spent 7 months sober, and I decided I could go back out and do what I used to do. In 3 weeks of going back out, I had my third DUI. And in 3 months after that, I was here the better way. Well, it's funny. I heard about a better way when I was sitting across the desk from my brother, which was my lawyer. And he told me, he said, well, you got two choices. You can go to jail probably for a year, or you could go to a place like this. And he turned the computer around. It was actually Kevin Baker's testimony that I got to see, which was odd since he had the same issues I did, seemed like. I watched it, looked at my brother, and said, I can do that. Well, I pulled up here knowing that I was checking into a better way. Went downstairs and I don't know, I chewed, dipped. I sat down there the entire time with a dip in, filling out my paperwork. Never had a question I was going to complete, even though that was my first day checking in. But when I walked out, I spit a dip out and I told God, I said, well, you told me to come here. You know I can't quit everything at one time. Tried before. I said, you got to do it if I'm going to make it. That started my journey in a better way. Probably one of the first significant memories I got. Chris Milton come up to me and we went to talking. He looked at me, he said, hey, are you going to make it through this? I said, yeah. I said, we're going to make it. Well, the structure and the times, they never were a problem. Being in the Marine Corps, the neatness, the folding the clothes, the getting up, structure wasn't a problem. With the brotherhood here the better way, it's a lot different than any brotherhood I've ever been in. It's a brotherhood where we can come to each other and talk to each other, pray with each other. We can lift each other up, but we also can point out to each other that, hey, you know, are you back out there doing what you were doing that got you here to start with? I think it's very important to stay connected with God, church, this ministry. I could have had probably the 9-to-5 job, making great money, live my life where I was at, and never knew anything was wrong till I got here and realized God's a lot bigger than we let him be. Sitting there with the waves, wind, just the peace that's down there on the beach, and realizing that peace, when you're sitting down there listening to all of that, those two things, wind and water, were two of the most destructive forces that we know. And realizing that same God controls that storm just like he gives you the peace. What two things that kind of stick out to me is be still, know I'm God. Psalms 46. And the other one that come to me after you be still and you know that He's God is that Romans, it tells us that got a piece of, He'll crush Satan beneath your feet. You give Him the chance, He'll show you that whatever you're struggling with, if you'll just be patient and search, God will show up.